Some horror games don't waste time. They grab you right away. You start playing, and before you know it, you're too deep to stop. They're real horror experiences that make every minute worth it. Here are the top 20 horror games that are absolutely worth your time. Until Dawn is the kind of horror game that earns every minute of your attention. It starts like your typical teen slasher, a group of friends returning to a mountain lodge for a weekend trip, but the tension builds fast, and before long, you realize something much worse is waiting out there in the snow. What makes it special isn't just the scares, it's the control you have over the story. Every choice changes how things unfold. Maybe you open the wrong door, or hesitate for a second too long, and suddenly, someone's gone. It's brutal, but that's what keeps you hooked. The performances are surprisingly strong, with characters that actually feel human. You'll start off rolling your eyes at their drama, then catch yourself caring about who lives through the night. Until Dawn doesn't waste your time with filler or cheap jumps.
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed.
No!
We should stay put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
You can't let me die!
Still Wakes the Deep is the kind of horror game you'll remember long after you finish it. You're stuck on a remote oil rig in the middle of the North Sea, just trying to keep your head above water, when everything starts falling apart. There's no over-the-top action or invincible hero moments. Instead, you creep through metal corridors, climb rickety ladders, and hide from something you can't quite understand. The rig itself becomes an enemy, and the endless roar of the sea make every step a risk. What really hits is the combination of isolation and the unknown. The atmosphere doesn't just aim to scare you, it makes you feel small. And when the monster shows up, you know you're in trouble. If you've been hunting for a horror game that's smart, lean, and straight to the point without wasting your time, Still Wakes the Deep deserves your attention.
Are you glad to see me, friend?
Chronos The New Dawn is absolutely worth your time. Trust me, this one hits different. It drops you into a world where the future has already collapsed, and the past is the only place that might save it. So you hop between grim wastelands and 1980s Poland. Enemies don't just die. If you kill them poorly, they merge with corpses and come back as something worse. That twist makes you rethink every fight, every burnout, every bullet you waste. You're not just surviving. You're trying not to make things worse. What really sticks is the atmosphere. The architecture, the tech blend, the way time travel gets twisted with human horror. It creates a mood that stays with you. If you're after a horror experience that mixes survival mechanics and story depth without going full shotgun fest, Chronos absolutely deserves your time. Tormented Souls 2 is absolutely worth your time if you're into survival horror with classic vibes. Survivors of the first game return, but this time the nightmare takes place in a place called Villa Hess, a remote clinic in the mountains, delivering some seriously creepy settings. Gameplay leans into nostalgia, with fixed camera angles, limited saves, and puzzles that make you stop and think instead of just shoot. Weapons are limited, resources scarce. If you screw up a fight, you'll feel the consequences. You'll travel between realities, use strange powers to shape the past and future, and piece together puzzles that make you stop and think. It's not just about running and hiding. It's about exploring with care, staying sharp, and staying alive. If you're after a horror game that doesn't waste your time with distractions, Tormented Souls 2 delivers a tight, smart, and terrifying experience.
God, she's dead.
This damn place can bring out the darkness in our heart.
Did you do this?
You have no idea how powerful it is.
My name's Caroline.
You don't look like one of the locals. I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we should team up.
Anna still has a role to play in this story, just as you do. And this is your destiny.
Silent Hill F flips the script in the best way possible. Set in a fog-caught Japanese town in the 1960s, you're thrown into a strange world where nothing about what you see or hear can be trusted. The game skips the bombastic intro and throws you into tension from the start, silent streets, and monsters that don't just attack, they haunt your doubts. You'll face creatures pulled from folklore, walk through school corridors that feel upside down, and unravel scares that know how to whisper. But it's not just about chills, the story digs deeper. Trauma, expectations, identity, that kind of stuff you don't always get in horror games. And the ending? Depends on you. Every choice scratches at how this nightmare plays out. Silent Hill F isn't trying to reinvent survival horror. It's trying to make you truly uncomfortable and succeed.
Enough already! Hinako, your father. Stop sugarcoating it! So cut the crap and apologize! To me! To Tuko! To Mother!
I do quite envy her, though. I can't believe it was her.
I have to say, I'm rather jealous. Why her of all people?
I see. For today only, this will be our little secret. But if it happens to remain alive even after today, as your sister, I'll kill you if I must.
Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater takes ghost hunting to a haunting new level. You explore Mount Hikami, a mysterious place tied to ancient rituals and tragic deaths. The game's not about guns or explosions. Your only weapon is the camera obscura, an old camera that can exorcise spirits when you snap their photos at just the right moment. You play through 3 connected stories, switching between characters as you uncover what happened on that cursed mountain. Every location is soaked in atmosphere, shrines, lakes, and abandoned inns where water drips and shadows never sit still. The whole wetness mechanic adds tension too. The more soaked you are, the more likely spirits will come for you. Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater doesn't rely on cheap scares. It builds that creeping sense of dread that sticks with you long after the credits roll.
神隠し3人の主人公はそれぞれの思いを胸に氷上山に秘められた儀式の謎に迫っていく美しき恐怖再び
The Devil in Me takes you inside a modern recreation of H.H. Holmes' murder castle, where every hallway hides something designed to kill. You play as a small documentary crew invited to explore the replica, hoping for a career-defining story. But it doesn't take long before the trip turns into a nightmare. The story unfolds through 5 characters, each with their own strengths, choices, and, of course, ways to die. The game keeps that cinematic tension running high, with branching paths that change who makes it out alive. You'll deal with traps, puzzles, and timed decisions that can completely shift how the story ends. It's part of the Dark Pictures anthology, so it follows the same interactive horror movie style, but this entry adds more hands-on exploration. If you enjoy story-driven horror where your choices actually matter, this one's worth playing from start to finish.
Need to do this today.
What the f is this?
Oh my god.
Are you shooting any of this? No one is going to believe it without proof.
Wait, no!
What the?
Someone, please!
What happened?
What the?
Go!
What is this?
It's a fucking booby trap.
I've told you what I have. Please don't waste my time.
But I'm not the only one out here. They thought they could control me. Now, I will tear them apart. One by one.
Dying Light the Beast deserves a spot among horror games totally worth your time. It takes the chaos of the first Dying Light and turns it into something much darker and more personal. You're back as Kyle Crane, but this time, the infection's changing him, and the line between man and monster starts to blur. The story takes you to Castor Woods, a foggy valley where the infected have evolved into something far more aggressive. During the day, you can explore and craft like usual, but once night hits, everything turns chaotic. You'll hear them before you see them. Those growls in the dark that make you panic and run even when you think you're ready. If you're after a horror experience that's both tense and exciting, Dying Light the Beast is one of those games that'll keep you playing way past midnight. Song of Horror is the kind of horror game where the fear doesn't wait, it builds around you. A famous writer vanishes, his family drops off the map, and suddenly you find yourself chasing shadows across old mansions and hospitals. The threat? An unseen entity called the Presence that tracks you, watches you, and adapts to how you play. Instead of big weapons or action set pieces, this game makes you feel small. You hop between characters, each one vulnerable, and once someone dies, they're gone for good. No resets, no come back next chapter. The game keeps moving, and so should you. Graphics and setting lean into classic survival horror. Fixed cameras, dimly lit rooms, questions like, should I open that door? And what was that sound in the hall? It's rooted in suspense and atmosphere rather than loud scares. The Chant is one of those horror games that actually earns your time. What starts as a calm wellness retreat on a remote island quickly turns into chaos when a ritual goes horribly wrong, opening a gateway to another dimension. You play as Jess, trying to survive as the people around you lose their minds, literally. The island itself becomes a twisted playground of fear. You'll scavenge for materials, craft weapons, and use light-based powers to fight off terrifying creatures. There's no mindless shooting here. Every encounter makes you think about when to fight and when to run, and keeping your mental health balanced is just as important as staying alive. What makes the Chant stand out is its mix of cult horror, exploration, and survival. It doesn't drag on or waste your time. Every chapter moves the story forward and keeps the tension high. The Chant is absolutely worth checking out.
the bears.
And why does everyone blame everything on bears? Okay.
You got anything better? I mean, like zombies, aliens, time-hopping Draculas.
Ryan?
Hey!
Run! Anything needs to happen, please!
We ain't playing games no more, little girl.
There's something coming!
1,
2, lost, Max, we're lost. 3!
Terrified kids are bad for business.
You have to cut it off! Cut it off!
Anyway, maybe just ease up on the ghost stories.
Sorry.
Just stick to Kumbaya next time, okay?
What's that?
You guys don't do Kumbaya anymore?
The Quarry is the kind of horror game that actually makes your choices count. It's set at a summer camp on its final night, where a group of counselors decide to stay for one last party. And yeah, that turns out to be a terrible idea. You play through 9 different characters, switching between them as the night goes downhill fast. The setup sounds like a classic slasher movie. Campfire stories, weird noises in the woods, something hunting you. But what makes it shine is how cinematic it is. Every decision, big or small, can decide who survives and who doesn't. The game looks incredible too. The lighting, the faces, the voice acting, it all adds up to something that feels like you're actually watching a movie, just with you calling the shots. The Quarry is easily one of the best ways to spend a few creepy hours. The sinking city doesn't start with screams or monsters. It starts with silence. A city half submerged, buildings leaning into dark waters, and a thick fog that hides more than it reveals. Oakmont isn't just flooded by the sea, it's drowned by something older, something that messes with people's minds. Instead of throwing you straight into combat, the game gives you freedom to investigate. You're piecing together cases, following leads, and trying to understand what's real. Every clue feels earned because the game never points a giant arrow at your objective. It trusts you to think like a detective. You'll wander through decayed streets by boat, dive into black waters, and meet locals who act like they already gave up on sanity. It's not flashy or loud, but it's smart, unsettling, and absolutely worth your time. Outlast 2 is the kind of horror game that doesn't give you a second to breathe. You crash in the middle of the Arizona desert, and before you even figure out what happened, you're being hunted by a cult that's completely lost it. There's no setup, no warning, just pure panic from the moment you take control. You're not a soldier, you're a cameraman. That means no guns, no fighting back, just running, hiding, and hoping your camera's night vision lasts long enough to find a way out. It's the kind of game that makes you afraid to move, but even more afraid to stand still. What makes Outlast 2 so effective is how it keeps pushing. The environments shift from burned-out villages to eerie temples and open deserts that somehow feel claustrophobic. If you want horror that keeps you on edge from start to finish, this one's absolutely worth your time.
The outsider!
Too late. What's going on here?
Sorry, that information's classified.
Seems to be evolving much faster than expected.
Nobody cares about that. They want to know about the G virus.
What exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible for this mess.
What the?
you bastard, if you hurt her.
Identify yourself.
Stop! You'll never get the G-Virus! Sherry, come on! Daddy, no! Claire, wake up!
After you. Gee, thanks.
Resident Evil 2 is that rare remake that doesn't just update a classic, it makes it better. You start off thinking it's just another zombie story, but the second you step inside the Raccoon City Police Department, everything changes. What makes this remake hit so hard is how it balances tension and control. You're never completely helpless, but every bullet matters. One wrong move and suddenly you're backed into a hallway with 3 zombies between you and the door you need. It's stressful in that can't stop playing kind of way. What makes it so good is how it balances tension and pace. One minute you're solving a puzzle in a quiet hallway. The next you're being hunted by Mr. X, a massive trench-coated monster that doesn't stop walking. Resident Evil 2 doesn't just bring back nostalgia, it redefines it. It's easily one of the best horror games ever made. The Walking Dead Season 1 is the kind of game that hits hard. Not because it's full of zombies jumping out, but because it traps you in decisions that feel impossible and moments that stay with you. You're Lee Everett, a guy sent to prison who finds himself at ground zero of the zombie apocalypse. Early on, you meet Clementine, a young girl totally out of place in a collapsing world, and suddenly your survival isn't just about you anymore. The pacing is slow but intentional. Conversations matter more than combat, and every decision you make shapes how people see you, or if they live to see the next day. There's no right answer, only consequences. Sometimes the hardest part isn't surviving the walkers, it's facing the people you've let down. It's absolutely worth your time if you're into horror that makes you think, not just scream.
You don't know who these people are. They could be dangerous.
Whoa, take it easy. Just want to help.
You can't.
Think this through.
He's bitten! We gotta throw him out! I'm gonna kill him, Cat!
You want to get violent, you old fuck? Well, come on!
I don't know who you are or what you did, but you better become a better liar. Fast.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Madison is hands down one of those horror games totally worth your time. You wake up locked in a dark room, your hands splattered, and the camera you're given isn't just for snapshots. It's your link to something dead, lurking behind the surface. The game kicks off with a twisted ritual, and from there you're forced into a relentless blend of puzzles, scares, and creeping unease. The instant camera becomes more than a tool. It's how you decode the world, reveal what's hidden, and survive a demon that's been playing a long game. What really puts this one on the radar? The atmosphere. A house that shifts between normal, wrong, and no going back. The monsters aren't big, noisy things. They're shadows, reflections, and screams you hear after you've turned around. If you're in the mood for horror that's clever, tight, and doesn't let you feel safe for long, Madison is absolutely worth your time. Little Nightmares 2 is one of those games that doesn't need a ton of words to unsettle you. It just drops you into a world that's wrong in all the quiet ways. You play as Mono, a small kid wearing a paper bag over his head trying to survive in a place where everything feels oversized. You're not alone though. Six, the girl in the yellow raincoat from the first game, joins you. Together, you sneak past twisted teachers, mannequin-like patients, and faceless strangers glued to their TVs. The game never tells you much, but that's part of what makes it stick. There's barely any dialogue, yet the storytelling is rich. The puzzles blend naturally with the tension, and every area feels handcrafted to keep you uncomfortable. Little Nightmares 2 doesn't explain much, but that's exactly what makes it stick with you long after it's over. Dead Space 2 is one of those horror games that you'll remember because it doesn't just scare you, it makes you work for it. The story picks up with Isaac Clarke waking up in a hospital on a massive space station called the Sprawl, 3 years after the nightmare on the Ishimura. He's broken. Hallucinations are playing tricks on his mind, and the necromorphs? Yeah, they're back. This game knows how to mix horror with action in a smart way. You're still slicing off limbs instead of just shooting heads, but now there are jetpacks, zero-G sections, and moments when the space around you feels like the enemy. And while you're fighting monsters, there's another battle happening inside Isaac. Hallucinations, guilt, a mind that's fraying. If you're after a horror game that delivers both thrills and a real narrative punch, Dead Space 2 absolutely deserves your time.
We have the same goal, Sebastian. We can help each other. Join me.
Keep shooting until they're dead or we run out of ammo.
Once I have the power of the core, you will be truly free.
Are you all right?
Why wouldn't I be all right?
The Evil Within 2 is one of those horror games that actually deserves your time. You walk into Sebastian Castellanos' shoes again, but this time, he's pushed into a semi-open nightmare, searching for his daughter in a warped city called Union, where reality keeps breaking around you. What stands out is how the game balances survival horror with moments of bigger action. You're scavenging scrap, upgrading weapons, stealthing through silent vents, and then bam! You're face to face with a monster born from someone's worst fear. The crafting and upgrade systems add depth without diluting the horror. Your tools matter because you feel vulnerable. If you're after a horror experience that doesn't drag, that mixes emotional stakes with pure nightmare fuel, The Evil Within 2 is absolutely worth it.
You're the killer, the cult leader.
No! You've got the wrong man! It's my fault! It got out!
Wake has a double. Where is he now?
Don't play out. You do what I say, when I say it.
Joel, I can handle myself.
It's called luck, and it is gonna run out.
Fine.
There's still a way out for us. But we don't have much time.
And a corpse can't laugh!
Stay with me. Don't leave me alone again. You're
supposed to take care of me.
I know what you are.
Alien Isolation doesn't ease you in. It just lets the fear sink slowly until you realize how alone you really are. You play as Amanda Ripley, searching for answers about her mother aboard the Sevastopol station. It's quiet, almost too quiet, until you hear something move above you. There's only one alien, but that's all the game needs. You can't fight it. You can only hide, crawl, and pray it doesn't catch the sound of your motion tracker. It's unpredictable, smart, and relentless. The kind of enemy that turns even a simple hallway into a death trap. Every part of the station adds to the tension. The hum of machines, the dim corridors. You start to learn its rhythm, but never enough to feel safe. That's what makes it brilliant. The fear never really goes away.